ho ho ho. Welcome to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Case 1, The Adventure of the Great Departure, Part 1. Join Bob as he solves the case or something. I wasn't paying attention. By the way, sorry for the weird visual glitches, and also the terrible pronunciation of names, and also the incredible inconsistency in the voices of people. Okay, enjoy. Will Bob do the thing that he's supposed to do in the game? Find out on...
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some were swept away by the tide.
Sorry, that scared me. That guy's built like a pencil. What an ominous figure.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
What? What? I think that's supposed to be me.
Okay, this is actually really embarrassing. I think when I did what, the mic peaked entirely, I think. That's awesome. Okay, let me adjust the audio there. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? This is a terrible voice that I've chosen for this character. I'm sorry. Oh, hello. Oh? What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glass, murderer! Ellipses. Sorry. I think my character's voice is gonna be in flux. My name is... Ryunosuke Nintendo. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. Sorry for my pronunciation, this is gonna be awful. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. Who's saying that? Is that me? Guys, we don't know who's saying that. Who's saying that's enough? Oh, new character. This hot, sexy man with tailing headband... What? Headband strands? I don't even know what to call those. He is not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? You and me both, bailiff. I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Bailiff, do they not have lawyers here? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. I peaked the microphone again. This is embarrassing. Tisk, technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. Huh. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Oh, Mike, bailiff is reeling. That is a I don't like that smile, sir. That's a weird smile. Right? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. Ellipses. Huh. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, No, I suppose that wasn't my fault. Oh my gosh. My character is such a dweeb. This is embarrassing. Ellipses again. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. Ha 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 ha. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. I'm sorry if any of these people's voices changed dramatically. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? You're my lawyer. I think you should know. Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. Coming on a little strong. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Strain yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I told you to sit up straight. I don't know what the problem is. I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryu. It's an abridged version of the name. Oh? Kazuma Sogi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I, a star student, in fact. Oh my gosh, Ryu's got a complex. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still an undergrad. I was gonna say that too. What? He can read my mind! It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. Oh, I guess the bailiff was right to be confused. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. We getting a flashback? Is it flashback time? Yes! Congratulations, Kazuma! It looks like you're going to get a study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud, as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura blowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. They got tables and a plant. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. Me? That's awesome. Oh my gosh, he faded into obscurity. He's gone. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Okay, guys, I can't... I'm gonna need like an intermediary voice. Just a voice I can go to if I don't know the person. Asogi, may I have a word? Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi, you should go immediately to the judge's chambers. Huh. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? The professor, he said it. I feel as though I've seen him at university before. Yeah, because he's a oh my gosh, Ryu's a dumbass too? This is embarrassing. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Oh, I'm sorry. The female voices are not gonna go great. I don't like this guy's smile. It's so unnerving. Alright then, Ryu. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. What the? Ugh, this is awkward. Then say something, man. If I may. Well, he's got a lovely smile and he made a ding sound effect. He must be a nice guy. Yes, sorry? You must be the defendant. Ryu Nintendo, I believe. I didn't even read his last name the first time. Yes, that's right. My name is Eugene Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me all about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. You would be well to pilot that in orange, my friend. Huh! As such, I feel you should know. Kazuma is the murderer. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, they'll lock him up and they'll publicly flog him and drown him in the deepest depths of the sea. I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? What? As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. Ugh! He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? Why? Is there a reason? You didn't really explain. But I don't understand! Why would the government do such a thing? Thank you, Rio. Asking what everyone's thinking. The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. Hey look, they spelled favorable the British way. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it, I swear it! I'm not a murderer! I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. No one wants to see the word peculiarities in quotation marks, highlighted in orange, and with new music playing in the background. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. The judge is the victim. What? But then what should I do? Well, naturally I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so... As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. No. That's the only answer to a marriage proposal, my friend. I'm not getting married already. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not. Rio, are we on the same page? We're not on the same. That was. Rio, that's a more valid thought than, is the judge gonna ask me to marry them? Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant. Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Sogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. So the question's gonna be, are you gonna defend yourself? Am I representing myself? Okay. Of course, as a defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear in Terrabank? Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. This bailiff's so mean. What's happening? This is it. If this trial goes badly, why did I suddenly go into noir vision? Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over, and what's more... Oh, was that not supposed to happen? Oh no, it wasn't. Hold on. Sorry about that. I mean, that was a very dramatic moment for the screen to go black and for a thing to crash. But anyway, you missed it, but there was a really long zoom in that just happened here. Anyways, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, it broke again. I saw it do it. It broke. Right in front of me, it broke. Sorry about that. To give you an idea of what's going on, I have a very precarious setup, and apparently if I move it slightly, everything breaks. So that's awesome. But anyway, blah blah blah, I'll be thrown in jail or something. With absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. I don't recall his voice being that annoying, but, well, that's what your computer breaking does to you. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. Cue the music. Oh, that's crazy. Going to the pepper night. Again, Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. Oh my gosh, what is Bro's eyes doing? So this is a courtroom. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't remember this guy's voice either. That really threw me through a loop. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. Is that one of the peculiarities? A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Ryu. It's about to begin. Whoa. That's a crazy beard. The court will now hear the trial of Ryu Nintendo. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it! This must be the question! Oh, he's popping the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? I'm sorry, Kazuma, but you're going to Great Britain, bud. I'm going to jail. Get out of here. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate for the... What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryu Nintendo, will be defending myself. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Ryu? Professor Mikotoba told me everything, just now, before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off. No, it's not like that, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. I don't know how to tisk, I'm sorry.
Gavel. Very well. This court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial.
Well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel, really?
Objection!
Objection! Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocent is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Not with those eyes. Isn't that so, Nintendo-san? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. What just happened to him? In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Humph. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court... You must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed.
You don't know what the crime is?
As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Nintendo?
Yes, Your Excellency. His last name isn't hard to pronounce. I don't know why I just said Nintendo.
It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken.
Uh-oh. I'm not prepared. My competence? What does that mean?
Please step out of the vehicle.
He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am.
So, let's start with the very simplest of questions.
Oh, yes.
Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case.
Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I can remember. But, wait. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryu? Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. That's what I was gonna look at. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of R. Wow, they do that in the court of law? That's cool. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press R for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. Court record. This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with R. Look at all these people. You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back. Let's see. 23 years old, eh? Medical school. Right. For the lead prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have little love for the changes the Cultural Reformation has brought about. Okay. John H. Wilson. Oh, he's so... Look how attractive he is. That's the guy we killed? Oh, man. He's visiting Professor Medicine. Hold up. Wait a minute. That's odd. I'm sure that won't come up at all. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Got it. Now, you'd better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. I know, this is a long conversation to be had when someone just said, name the victim. And then they're just talking for 5 minutes. Find the victim in the people section of the court record. Then press X to present. Try it now.
Yes!
Yes! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, the doctor wasn't in there. Oh, right. Oh, they don't put periods after the titles. That's weird. Tush? What?
Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to UMA University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. Oh, this is a global affair. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation, the Adjtifanen.
And yet, despite the delicate circumstances, the beloved of Englishmen has been built on our soil.
I don't know where this voice came from, but I'm loving it.
You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial UMA University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor?
But I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Well, he was handsome too. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the— I totally forgot about that. Oh, yep, we had dinner with that guy. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. And he's gone. The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man in a university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say that, what? So I went over to the professor's table and said hello, presumably that... Aw, look at this cute interaction. And introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. What a kindly looking fellow. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Nintendo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death? Well, obviously that was, I saw in the flashback as a gunshot. Ryu, remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? Ryu, are we in law school? What's going on? Well, no, he's in, what? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now. Oh, we didn't look at this. Post-mortem report. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Cool. I'd like to present this, please. Yes. Well... According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma.
Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it.
Sorry, yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see! As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. How do you not know this? Don't you want to become a lawyer? Did I miss the exposition?
This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime.
Oh no. Poor guy.
You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range.
Store that one in the noggin. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. The photographic print of the victim has been entered in the court record. Shot from the front. Interesting. Yes, close range. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well. That was it? Those were your 2 questions for competency? Alright. I'm satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial.
Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me, but that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Assistant counsel? Ah, of course! When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Sogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Oh, yeah, I already made that noise for you, don't worry. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. That's what I'm saying. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Nice one, Rio. That was a good one. But I high-fived myself. Oh, hello. What a lovely-looking man.
Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please.
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I'm the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called Le Carnival. Oh, I'm sorry. Is he coughing up blood? I thought that was just a fancy person at hand, but no, he's just dying. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, Oh, we wiped it off. It's alright. It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really should. Yeah, Rio, cold sweats, I think, is appropriate here.
As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's been a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 3 days ago.
Understood. Hosonaga-san, you'll kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir.
And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please.
Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? Nice one, wordplay. Good job. It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We're few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it too. There's hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. Gunshot! A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on, let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur.
The next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defended Nintendo. Don't worry, Ryu. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness.
If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today?
Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table. What's the matter, Ryu? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello... What the? There was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Oh, I don't know, guy. Oh no, I don't know. Maybe you should do that during the cross-examination. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryu, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I never have gone into Yume University otherwise. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you've scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm just gonna shut my eyes and say it. Okay, so I picked the wrong option is what you're saying.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There's a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Objection! Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not the real lawyer after all?
But I'm sure of what I saw. Osanaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. Oh, he's coughing up blood. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to. There appears to be a bunch of scribbles here. Let me see. A sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume.
That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone.
Well, you're clearly a very I'm going to have a lot of problems saying this word. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter.
Thank you, sir.
Gavel. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
Oh, well, I just ate it. I just put it, my dog just ate it right now. The dog's in the courtroom as we speak. He just ate it.
Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
Of course. Here you are.
What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Oh my gosh, he's just... Please, please. Oh my gosh, have your internal thought quick, he's dying.
Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record.
Wow, he just full on died.
So, the court has now heard a
I don't know what that word is. Give me a second. Is it French? Better not be French. It's French. It's a French word. Of course it is. Summary or abstract? Well, that makes sense. How to pronounce it? Google, go.
précis.
No shot. That's not how it's spelled at all. I'll add that word into my court record.
So, the court has now heard a précis of the case.
Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. No judge, nuh-uh, there's a woman. I swear it. I would notice a woman, okay? Huh. Defendant Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency?
If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in the terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime.
What do you think I should do, Kazuma?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me this trial's unusual, about these peculiarities.
It's like that's the name of the movie and they just keep saying its name over and over again.
You said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this.
As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? Oh, this Kazuma guy, oh my gosh, so sensitive.
What?
If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryu.
What?
Fist slam! The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. And then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. That is quite the stance. Indeed. Prosecutor Ochi, please continue with proceedings.
Tuch. Well, you were warned. The young could be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, But I can be a devil when I want to be, especially in the sheets, 'cause I know many a woman. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silent forever. Execution? They're gonna well, actually, yeah. The prosecution calls its next witnesses. Gavel.
Very well. Officer, bring forth the witnesses at once.
One of these is gonna be the lady, surely. There's gonna.
What the?
Oh right, they were in the thing. I forgot. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir. The great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Aya Sanosa, reporting for duty, sir.
Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation Nippon, and conduct my trade for Masute, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Curio Korakuta, at your service.
An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing.
That is unusual. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned.
Myself, I richly take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon, and not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business.
I can't understand a word that old man is saying.
You and me both, and I'm the one voicing it.
He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what could only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm. Sir.
This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment he shot the victim dead. Yes? Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start.
Gavel. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred.
Yes! Sir, yes, sir. Standing by ready to report, sir.
Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon.
Witness testimony. What the witnesses saw.
I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man.
Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman.
At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes.
That slam rather sounded like a gunshot, did it not?
The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
From the back, you say? No, that's a contradiction, Nosa.
and I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio.
Well, that was a shit testimony. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second where the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. The wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel, unforgivable enemy.
What times we live in, when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day.
They just let a witness bring a knife to the courtroom? But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Ryu. Is that really true, Ryu? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. Ryu, did you shoot the guy? Come on. After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. Huh, a gun? I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, well, if that's the truth, there's obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryu, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Ryu, oh my... Do it now.
As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice.
Certainly. Their testimony the court has heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of the... What in the name of Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? The defense demands its right to a cross-examination. What? Huh?
Huh. Dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh?
How did he know?
The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Yeah, can a prosecutor just be like, nah. Gulp. I can't gulp. Kazuma is so commanding. Very well. I'll let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryu. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it, and the key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryu. Don't let them beat you. Alright then. It's all or nothing. Ryu needs some gloves. I think he may have gone a splinter from that. What the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regular beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Interesting.
Myself, I have to join the
Interesting. At that precise moment a firearm was discharged, I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. Okay. The Black University cadet fired the English civilian, and from the back!
Excuse me, sir. He was shot from the front!
Present!
Yes!
Something gonna happen?
What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache?
Inconsistency, sir! I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here. What nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there was no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. Ugh, this is so frustrating.
Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court.
Kazuma, what? What are you talking about?
It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement.
What?
Sergeant Ayesenosa.
Yes, sir. What, sir?
The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. That is some good recall you got there, Kazuma.
Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes! But no, that just can't be.
And why not, cadet?
Because...
Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? What is happening? What the hell no, what just happened? What in the world what? Huh? Sorry, what? Can we play that back? What? Huh? What? That's what I'm saying. What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back when he pushed it down again?
Certainly. There is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Osa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious La Carnival steak, sir.
There appears to be a baby on you. So did you bring a baby to the courtroom?
What?
The last testimony the court heard was proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Ayesenosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all.
Oh, that's absurd.
I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor. I messed up the really cool line, I'm so sorry. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Yeah, I got a little medal. There's a baby on his back. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy.
apparently perjury is really bad. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him! That University Connect there, he was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back!
Yes!
But I never fired the gun! All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either.
Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor. Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure.
Treasure?
Indeed! The
Ho-A era. Koban.
my prize coin! On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Rasutai.
In the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you.
On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffered my Hoei treasure. Believed that he would purchase such a rare find. I did not, but I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished.
Perhaps this mysterious child that has come from nowhere stole it, my friend.
The Koban vanished?
Hunting around under the table I was in case mayhappen had fallen there, and then it happened.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Indeed I did, but I heeded not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoei treasure. Nothing could distract me.
Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end?
No.
I see.
That lamentable day, the precious Hoei Koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself.
As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon.
Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now.
What is your position, Prosecutor Archie?
Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. What?
He's speaking in riddles.
My witnesses have further testimony to make.
Explain.
Upon hearing the next statement, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryu Naruhodo.
He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he?
Very well. The court invites the witnesses to testify again.
You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation.
Is that clear?
As clear as Greco glass, Your Excellency.
Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir.
Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think.
Affirmative! The newest member of the Nose family to rise up through the ranks, sir. Name, Ido.
It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Clever wordplay again.
Ido. Tin Shun! Your father is about to quell the enemy! Watch and learn, my boy! Pinwheel maneuver! Stand!